Hello everyone, Ted the old Star Wars nerd here. I hope you're doing well, and I want to thank you for joining me today as I go over some Star Wars headlines. Now, the one Star Wars headline that a lot of people have been covering is the great news about KOTOR being either remastered, remade, or whatever they're doing over there. So I've gotten at least two sources here. I know there's tons of others, but I just pulled up two here. One from Nintendo's Enthusiast about Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake in development at Aspire. So it simultaneously does and does not make sense. So whichever. I don't care, but it's almost confirmed, or basically it is confirmed from depending on who you read, that they're making a new one and it's a new remake. And they're a group of people that have ported other Star Wars games to the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4 and other platforms. It is the developer of the KOTOR remake. This information comes from Bloomberg journalist Jason Schreier on the MinMax podcast, and Eurogamer also states that it has heard of Aspire's involvement. So it looks like something's going on really cool with a remake or remaster or redo of Knights of the Old Republic. Hopefully it's a continuation. I'd love to see Knights of the Old Republic 3. So that's what I'm hoping for, but a remastered one with new graphics and new gameplay, if they kept true to the original story, that'd be great as well. So, okay, you got that from Nintendo Enthusiast. John Fisher wrote that. And then, of course, you also have MovieWeb is reporting it. Ryan Scott reported yesterday. Knights of the Old Republic video game remake is happening at Aspire. Aspire? I still don't know. Please let me know. So, and it goes down here, and it's got the podcast there, and you can listen to it, and where it talks about it. But it says, this is true. This is public at this point. I basically confirmed that Aspire, which is the company that has ported a bunch of KOTOR games, is working on that. So there's your headline, Ben. So it looks like Aspire, for what it's worth, previously worked on updates for Star Wars Episode 1 Racer and Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast. Their logical choice for KOTOR as well. So, okay, great. That looks just awesome. That looks awesome. So I'm really looking forward to that. That looks like it's going to be great. And any kind of KOTOR would be... More KOTOR is good KOTOR, I think. So anyway, there is a headline that was kind of buried in here that I looked at about Dash Rendar returns in new Star Wars Legends anthology story. So I read this thing. And let's go through it and see if maybe you get out of it what I get. So Dash Rendar to return to a galaxy far, far away. Dash Rendar was the, we'll read through here. A classic Star Wars character is getting ready to make his return to a galaxy far, far away. Dash Rendar, who fans will know from Shadows of the Empire, is the subject of an upcoming story in the Star Wars Insider Fiction Collection Volume 1. While this collection will feature tales about a number of characters, this particular inclusion is of note as it acknowledges one of the biggest stories that is no longer a part of the official canon in the franchise. An excerpt from Michael Reeves and Maya Catherine Bonoff's tale, And Lebo Makes Three, recently made its way online. The selection quickly name-dropped Dash Rendar, who's at the center of the tale. A piece of artwork depicting the character, who should look familiar to anyone who played the Shadows of the Empire video game for Nintendo 64, was also revealed. The opening paragraph from the story reads as below. And the Rodian glanced around the Nexus den, looking for someone he desperately hoped not to see. Sitting across from him at the dimly lit corner table in the seedy port bar, Dash Rendar absently wondered why he even bothered trying to see. The air was a bilious pall of death stick smoke and other inhalants, all designed to make the present more interesting and the future less attainable. His lungs protested in spite of his shallow breathing. So, okay. Well, let's finish it off. For those who may not be familiar, Shadows of the Empire was a massive multimedia initiative launched by Lucasfilm at the time when not much was happening with Star Wars, way back in the 90s. And it included novels, video games, comics, toys, and telling an original story set between the events of The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. Dash Rendar, the captain of a ship called the Outrider, was at the center of the story. Though viewed as a Han Solo ripoff by some, the character became quite popular in his own right, so having him appear in this new story is significant. Whether or not that leads to further appearances remains to be seen. So, yeah, everybody knows Shadows of the Empire, the tail's wiped from the canon when Disney purchased Lucasfilm, except for the Clone Wars and a couple of other things. So this, if you read through there, and it's going to have more stories and more things in this new book. Many characters, storylines have been repurposed. Grand Admiral Thrawn, for example, is brought in as villain to Star Wars Rebels. They're going to have more stories and tales in here. So this is going to be a new story set that Disney's releasing, even though it's Legends. So they're going to start acknowledging Legends and start bringing that in and start telling more tales in the Legends category. So are they going to start bringing in more and more and start acknowledging more, so maybe we'll get the Dawn of the Jedi books or a comic or a movie or a series or anything like that? If they start bringing back more Legends stuff, and they're not going to make it canon, but just acknowledge it and build off of it and just keep telling those stories, acknowledge that universe and keep going. It was stupid to get rid of it. So I think this might be, maybe I'm reading this wrong, but if that's what they're doing just a little bit more and a little bit more. They're recognizing the old Legends and they're putting a new story out in the Legends universe. Maybe, am I reading that wrong? I don't think I'm reading that wrong. But it's a new Star Wars anthology story. So, are they going to start making more Legends stories? Sounds good to me. I'm all for it. Just don't mess it up, please. Thank you very much. I would appreciate that. That would be awesome. I may have to pick that book up. I'm going to have to definitely look into it a little bit more to see if it is what I think it is. So, there you go. A little extra news on top of the remake of KOTOR, which will be awesome, and I'm really looking forward to that. I'm all behind all this new stuff at Disney that they're doing at Star Wars that I'm hearing about. I've yet to hear anything lately, well, in the last week, I guess. Well, that's such a low bar, isn't it? That is such a low damn bar. There hasn't been anything in the last week that's make me mad from Disney that I can think of right offhand. If you can think of it, let me know down below. So, anyway, thanks a lot for tuning in. I am Ted, the old Star Wars nerd. Please leave a comment below. Click the like button. Click the subscribe button. Click that bell for notifications, okay? Thank you very much for tuning in. Until next time, take care.